Alright guys, welcome back to another Bleach Brave Souls video. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the hot takes that you guys have left in the community section over here. This video has been taking a long time, but we're finally here. We're going to take a look at your comments over here and see what all of this is about. I'm not going to shout out anybody just yet, but I will be going through the comments and we'll be shouting out everybody who did participate. So that's how we're gonna do things over here. So very first comment, it is going to be from Saifulazim, right? I'm just gonna call you that. Thank you very much for commenting over here. Let's see what you have to say. My complaint is that the game can thrive for so many years ahead if Caleb decided to listen to their players instead of being deaf like usual. That is very true. Now, there are many instances where Caleb could have addressed the player base and they just didn't at all. And yeah, they're just practically non-existent in terms of their online presence to their fan base and their player base and everything of the sort. Yeah, it's just so hard to get them to listen or to respond to a certain issue or anything of the sort, right? So I do also feel that they are practically non-existent. Let me know down below, how do you feel about Caleb being non-existent in terms of the online presence or their feedback or anything of the sort? Let's continue what the comment says over here. He also wants increasing rewards for Guild Quest, more events, more useful free multis, and etc. I don't think that's a hot take. I actually think that's the best take, because we all want new events, we all want more rewards and everything of the sort. So all that is all good. But his hot take is that the 10th anniversary Ichigo is the most fun character ever released by Caleb. Now there it is. Now, do you agree with this? You can let me know, but personally for me, I don't agree with this. Not in the harshest way, but I just feel like there are other characters which are more fun, such as we checked out in the live stream yesterday. I really like using the OG Thousand Year Blood War adult version of Toshiro, right? He's adult Bankai form. He is very fun. Cool animations and whatnot. The range is amazing. So I would say he's more fun for me. But yeah, that's going to be my opinion at least. Thank you very much for your comment of you. I really do appreciate it. Let's move on to the next one, which is not DNA of Doom. Thank you very much for commenting. Let's see what your hot take is over here. My hot take is that Bleach Brave Souls would be a phenomenal game if Caleb wasn't the one developing it. Again, 100% true. I agree with this. It's not to say they haven't cooked in certain instances, because they've cooked a lot of times. The most recent one that I can actually remember, obviously, is the anniversary. I think the characters are perfect. The animations is out. They hit it out the park. But the reveals of the Thousand Year Blood War full-being Bankai version of Ichigo, that was spectacular. So I do think they do cook sometimes, but most of the times when you do expect them to cook, they just drop the ball for no apparent reason. Like the most obvious instance where this happened was the Visored Ichigo and the Grimjow. All they had to do was just make them both powerful SP units and yeah, slap Frenzy plus 2 on both of them, give them a good killer, give them good skills, and already you got a money-making machine in terms of summons over there. That's pretty good. But what did they do? They had to go and make Ichigo a farming character, not even a good one at that, for today's standards at least. And they just made Grimjow a Guild Quest bot, basically an auto character, which is sad to see. So it's just amazing to see like how much they fumble, and yet they do this on an inconsistent basis. So do let me know what you think about that opinion over here. Thank you very much for your comment and for participating over there. I've just noticed I keep saying over there and over here. If anybody knows how many times I say that, you could just type that down below. I'll pin that comment. But anyway, Dan04 over here says EX waves are not needed. Just make the enemies a bit more difficult and improve the rewards. Again, we are going back to the rewards and essentially changing the Guild Quest. Now, Guild Quest has improved from what it used to be, I think in 2018 or 19. If you were there, you know how Guild Quest was. So I do think we are moving in a good step, in a good direction, but I do think there's just more they could do. as Danny says, you could increase the difficulty, give them more HP, or give them a double iron skin. I don't know. They could be creative with this, and of course, improving the rewards to incentivize even casual players to go ahead and do guild quest, even though it's not the easiest. But just make the rewards so good that you can't even ignore it anymore. And EX waves, again, I do agree with this, because at this point EX waves are just they're just normal GQ. If you do GQ, you're expected to at least clear the EX waves. That's the minimum at this point. If you're good at guild quest, or if you're a guild quest main, you do that automatically. So what makes it extra anymore? It's just more phases. But again, that's just what I think of it. So thank you very much, Danny, for that very informative comment over there. Now, Adarsh Kumar says, a very reoccurring face on the channel, says PvP has become more fun to play since Swimsuit Candice and Parasol Riruka have become part of the meta. If Swimsuit Nell came before Uryu, we would have seen her being used in PvP, similar to Candice and Riruka. Now, this is I'm not too sure if this is a hot take, but I think it is, because I mean, in general, PvP is not really the most fun or interactive game mode. But again, I will say that I'm not really the most consistent guy when it comes to brave battles. But I do think that adding more good characters just makes a healthier meta, so that the meta isn't one-sided. That's my opinion, at least. I think it's just healthier for the game and the game mode in general. So thank you very much, Atosh Kumar, for your comment. Really, really appreciate it. Now, the next one is going to be Gyno. I'm just going to call you Gyno over here. And your comment says, could be a hot take, but as of right now, I strongly believe that Bleach Brave Souls is the best Bleach game out there at this current moment. Now, I actually agree 100%. Bleach Brave Souls is the best Bleach game as of right now, because the next Bleach game, which is Bleach Soul Resonance, it will be releasing sometime this year, probably I think October or November, if I'm not mistaken. So until then, right now, Bleach Brave Souls is the best Bleach game right now. And you might be asking yourself, what about Bleach Rebirth of Souls? Surely, since that's on a console, that's way better. But my reasoning is that just because a game is on a console doesn't make it better than a game that's on mobile. Now, granted, most of the time that's true, but I just feel like the prime example that I want to point out, it is going to be Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero was so hyped prior to its release. Everybody thought that this was going to be the Dragon Ball game of all Dragon Ball games, period. And yeah, let's just say that game has a lot of issues. The player base is down, and that game is not thriving at all. Again, I could be wrong, because I don't play Sparking Zero. I don't have a console. So this is just a consensus that everybody has. The DLCs and everything, there's just problems with the game. Now, Rebirth of Souls, on the other hand, is in this similar situation, because it is a fighter sort of game. And I think that it'll eventually get to the same problems as Sparking Zero. But again, they're two totally different games. I just feel like Rebirth of Souls will eventually, even if it takes longer, but it will eventually get to the point where the player base will go down. The active players aren't going to be there as much anymore, and it's just going to be a rough time for the game. That's just my opinion. That's just my prediction. Seeing how Sparking Zero went, I do expect, I don't want it to happen. I don't like that it could happen. But I think that it will be going down the same road as Sparking Zero. But again, I could be wrong. That's just my opinion over there. So thank you very much to Gyno for your opinion. I do totally agree with you. Because Bleach Brave Souls, this might be my hot take, but Bleach Brave Souls actually kept Bleach alive from when the manga ended until the anime returned, right, in 2022. That was the only Bleach medium that we had a consistent content. So we actually should be thanking K-Lab for essentially keeping the Bleach name alive. So that's going to be it on that. Next one is going to be Cam S185. Thank you very much for your comment. Let's see what you got to say. Renewed Aizen is overhyped. It's just the 6th anniversary with new paint. I totally agree with this. Now, he's really cool. The animations are awesome, but I do think he's really overhyped. I mean, he's nothing special. Now, the character itself, in terms of the meta relevance of the character, of course, he's good. But in terms of like the character choice, there were way better characters to get remade. Dangai Ichigo, Butterfly Aizen, you know, yeah, what was that? I didn't say anything, but I'm just hinting at the fact that it was unnecessary, and yeah, we could have done without a remake, at least for now, of the 60th year anniversary Aizen. Even the 5th year anniversary Byakuya, I don't believe anybody asked for this. But again, it came, and even the banner wasn't good. So overall, it's just not a good look for the characters. But that's just a hot take from me and KMS over there. Let me know what you think about that one. Next up, it is going to be, oh, before we go over there, also put a single player co-op into the multiplayer co-op. Now, this I'm not too sure what you mean, because if single player co-op was a thing, then it wouldn't be co-op, because co-op is, you know, playing online with other people and such. So you might want to elaborate what you mean by that. But thank you very much regardless for your comment over here. Up next, it is going to be Byakuya's Pride. Thank you very much for commenting. He says Prime Yamamoto is stronger than current Aizen. Now, there is a lot of different interpretations of this battle that you could say, but for me, I've given this some thought when I read the comment, and I do think that if it was a straight fight between Yamamoto and Aizen, I do think Aizen would be able to defeat Yamamoto. I don't know how, because I mean the him activating his Bankai alone is going to be a huge problem for Aizen, but I'm pretty sure Aizen with his Kyoga Shiketsu can come up with something. He's just got so many tricks. He's a master of Kido. I mean, he's just got a lot of tricks. Not saying Yamamoto is not, but I just feel like Aizen has more chances of winning. But in terms of strength, like who's more powerful, I do think that Yamamoto is more powerful than Aizen. If that makes sense, I do hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But that's going to be my opinion on that there. But we can see there's actually been a discussion between Zoro and Byakuya's Pride, and Zoro does not agree with this at all. And I mean, it's fair to say, because it is a really close battle. Now, I want to make a point known that this last comment over here is not a hot take. It is just asking a question. So if there's any connection issues, I think along the lines of PlayStation, then yeah, Alex Martin just addressed that over there. But the last comment we're going to be going over is going to be coming from Danny again, and it says current Neliel is overrated, and past Neliel when she was in the Espada is better. Now I'm gonna interpret it as the character, like how the character is written. I do think that right now the current Nell, I think she's watered down a bit. And I feel like she's just been reduced to an Ichigo friend, like someone who's like really friendly with Ichigo. She likes Ichigo, and she's missed him, all this, you know, things of that nature, right? Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like when she was in the Espada, or like when she was exiled or kicked out of the Espada because of the accident that she had more a story about her, and she had her own path, her own journey, where she came from, her own history. She had her own character without really I don't know, like needing to entertain another character in that sense, right? But I do agree with this. I think in terms of characters, the way they were written, I do think the past Nell is more interesting than the current version of Nell. So that's going to be it on that over there. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really love making these sort of reading comments and discussions and things of this nature. I really love making these videos. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to leave a like down below, comment, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much for sticking around till the end, and I will see you all in the next one.